Yeah, well, hola amigos, welcome back, welcome to Bucharest, Romania, on this wonderful, wet, grey day. Got out of Serbia yesterday. It was probably the easiest airport exit I've ever had as well. Don't even ask questions, just stamp and go. But yeah, Bucharest, man. I knew the city was massive. I didn't realise how massive it was. Like, it's just massive boulevards like this. Big huge parks. Big grand buildings and monuments and stuff like that. So it takes an age to get everywhere. Thankfully though, the metro only costs 86 pence, so that's a win. But yeah, man, I'm not entirely sure what to do here. Have a strut around, see all the sights. Because everything's so like far away, I don't have like super loads of time. Might be difficult to get most of it in. But there's a few nice places. Like one I'm coming up to up here, the Free Press building or something. One of the first buildings built by the commies. It's a nice socialist realism, my favourite kind. Bit of Stalinist architecture. Yeah, hopefully all this rain will clear off and it'll be nice and dry again. And given it was like 22 degrees yesterday as well, proper warm. I do have a feeling as well that usually it's the wind that ruins the vlogs, but I think this time it might be traffic noise. Because just like Belgrade, Bucharest is extremely busy and full of cars. One thing I have noticed as well is, even though they have traffic lights and all that sort of stuff, you have the police just stood around directing traffic all the time. It's like there's that much of it that they can't handle it all. But yeah, we'll have a wander, see what happens, see what we get up to. Oh look, Dynamo Bucharest, club bus. Must be the team off somewhere. Yeah, we'll have a wander about, see what's going on. Take it from there. But yeah, when you do get away from the huge boulevards, you end up with all these like parks. Some nice concrete obelisk in the middle. But yeah, you get these parks and they're all over the city and they're absolutely gigantic. It's even got a little lake, this one. Little lake down there. The river actually that runs through the city is a bit mental because it's like quite small, and the bit I went past when I came here last night, there was just no water in it. So I don't know whether like it's dried up or they've done it deliberately or something, but it's dammed. I know there is like an artificial lake a bit further up out of the city. Yeah, you get like a nice little lake, little tourist boat. They're quite nice. If you're into your running and all that kind of stuff, this is the like perfect, probably like the perfect city to be in with these bloody streets and all these parks. Nice bit of flat terrain, get all your miles in. Let's have a look at this bloody building of the Free Press or whatever it's called. So it is the House of the Free Press, built in 1957 in that sort of Stalinist socialist realism. Looks a bit like the is it Moscow State University? and also the Palace of Science and Culture in Warsaw, which I have seen. It's also a bit like the other one that's in that district in Riga, Little Moscow. They have that building that's very similar, which I've shown you anyway. But yeah, this used to be the headquarters of the Scantia newspaper, the main propaganda organ of the Central Committee, the Romanian Communists. This is where it was HQ'd. And then after all communism fell away, it became, well, all the free press and that go to it. I'm sure it used to have some like advertising signs on the top. I think they've disappeared. But yeah, quite the building. You can't really make it out on here, but right at the top, sort of up here, there's like a bit which would have been like a hammer and sickle. It's sort of just make it out now, it's all sort of faded away. And a little one there. In fact, I was reading as well, just at the front of it there's like a statue of some like wings or something. There used to be a Lenin statue up to like 1990. Now they took it down for obvious reasons. Yeah, I could have seen a Lenin in Bucharest. They got rid of him. I don't think they got it on display anywhere else, so yeah, just at the front over here there's like a big wing statue, whatever it used to, or whatever it means. I'm assuming it's something to do with, you know, democracy and freedom and stuff like that. But yeah, no Lenin. Didn't think I was going to see a Lenin, but now it's confirmed I won't be seeing a Lenin here. I did see a Lenin in Belgrade, in the Yugoslav place. Yeah, there's the wings. Lenin's gone and they put the wings in instead. Could they not have just left the Lenin for me? There's something else to have in Romania, if I can get a good angle of it. You've seen the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. Well, Bucharest has its own Arc de Triomphe. So you decide which one is better, the Arc de Triomphe in Paris or the Arc de Triomphe here in Bucharest. So let's get a spot where you can actually see it. Some guys have actually relayed all this grass, so I don't want to like ruin it. Yeah, there it is. Arc de Triomphe. It's a bit smaller than the one in Paris, but I think it's still just as nice. I'll get an angle later. Oh, without being caught up by a bus. Fantastic. Yeah, there it is. The Arc de Triomphe, Bucharest. Pretty fancy if you ask me. Romanian flag on the top. Yeah, super cool. Arc de Triomphe, we're here. Right then, we are coming up to Casa Ceausescu, which was the house of former president of Socialist Romania, Nicolae Ceausescu. house round here or something. Yeah, there it is. There's his gaff. Just over there. Ceausescu ran Romania from 1974 to 1989. Got his own grand little mansion. We'll be on a busy street as well, just to make it even harder. But yeah, that would have been Ceausescu's house. His little mansion within the little suburbs of Bucharest. Wait for all this traffic to go past first. I would have gone in, but you need to like book in advance and stuff, and I can't be bothered. And also you can't like film or anything, so you have to have a look at it from outside. There we go, clear now. Yeah, there is former President Ceausescu's house. The big man, the man who ran Romania, the patriot of Romania, who had an extensive cult of personality, state suppression of press and censorship, use of the Securitat to suppress freedoms. This is his little house. And I can imagine it was full of the classic sort of dictator stylings, all gold and vulgar inside. Bit of a shame I haven't got loads of time to look around it, because I imagine it's absolutely wretched inside. I think there's also a big queue as well. You probably only have so many people at once. Yeah, that's where he would have relaxed, and him and his wife, Elena. It's all like a bit sort of art deco-y. Little balconies. I imagine it'd have been full of police and security back in those days. You wouldn't be getting anywhere near this place. Yeah. You'd have had a big fancy garden, probably a swimming pool, some nice little views. Yeah, the house of Nicolae Ceausescu, former top dog of socialist Romania. But I'd probably go along to, I think it's called Piazza Revolution, which is where he gave his last speech before he was overthrown. Sort of see the balcony where he was last seen in public, basically. So I thought there's this part of it as well. Can't tell. Like a little garden or something. Yeah. Casa Ceausescu. Right, and there is something that actually did catch my attention in this little park here. brutalist slide. I'll have to try and find it. No idea where it is, but it's right up my street. Some sort of mad looking slide. Probably sort of communist era, although you can't ride on it apparently. They've sort of blocked it off, which is disappointing, but it can't be that hard to find in here, Jesus. Yeah, imagine living around there. Ceausescu's houses. I mean, back in the day it must have been like the most secure, safest part of the city. Although maybe that whole neighbourhood was for like officials and stuff. Hello, dog. Moving off. Where is the slide? Where is the brutalist slide? I can't see it. It's actually a bit further over. I've started a new policy now of I can't be bothered doing like multiple takes of stuff, so I'm just going to film it once, and then if it turns out shit, tough, it's just going in like that, because I can't be asked trying to get every little fact and figure and this, that and the other all correct. Just go, say a few words, bash, there it is, done. Everyone's a winner. It's a lot quicker than trying to get like the right timing with like no traffic or chaos going on around you. But yeah, let's get to the brutalist slide, which looks fucking mental. Right, here we go, I can see it now. The brutalist slide. The butchers at this here, look. Look at the little tree line. So it looks like it's floating or something like that. Looks proper mental. It's like closed off, so you can't fucking climb up it and stuff like that, which is a bit disappointing. Yeah, there, look. Once upon a time you'd have been able to go down that. The maddest looking thing I've ever seen. Imagine that slide for your kids. Yeah, they blocked it off so you can't climb up the things anymore. But it's just like a big solid piece of fucking marble or something. That's quite cool, that. Right then, on Revolution Square, this is where the final days of Ceausescu were. Got this nice monument to the glorious revolution of December 1989, the year he was overthrown. But this building over here used to be the Central Committee building, the Communist Party. It's now Ministry of Internal Affairs or something for Romania. Up there on the little ledges, get a closer look actually. Literally up there was where Ceausescu gave his final speech. The place would have been flooded with people. He gave his final speech before being whisked away when all of the crowd turned against him. Because you have to remember that I think it was a few weeks before in Timișoara, in the other side of the country, there was an anti-regime figure, Laszlo Tokes, who the authorities tried to arrest, but his supporters blocked it. He was then, well actually, the army decided to open fire on the protesters and well, I think about 70 people were killed. And during Ceausescu's final speech here, the crowd got restless. Chants of Timișoara came from the back. Ceausescu's bodyguards, sensing something was up, whisked him away from all the way up there, and he left via helicopter. He flew about an hour or so just outside Bucharest, the town called Târgoviște, where his helicopter landed. The fears that it would be shot down by the Romanian army. He was then arrested, taken straight to a military tribunal court. He was found guilty, him and his wife Elena, and they were basically taken outside and executed. This was the final spot, the final time Ceausescu was ever seen in public, right here.
Television transmits live.
Doresc de asemenea să adresez mulțumiri inițiatorilor și organizatorilor acestei mari manifestări populare din București, considerând aceasta ca o
At this point, the television went off the air. Electromagnetic recording continued in the broadcasting van and documented this. Command communication from the ruler to the people had broken down, and, as if there were a disturbance in the line, Ceausescu shouted,
Alo! 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 Alo!
The cameraman had received instructions to pan to the sky if anything unexpected occurred.
Așezați-vă!
So we've actually got this Roman amphitheatre, Roman Athenaeum round here. What's an old abandoned building. What that place would have been like. Yeah, there's like the Roman Athenaeum, some sort of a big super flash building where they have like the Philharmonica and orchestra and that, and it's pretty specialist. Like, check this place out. It's like something you see in Rome. Well, literally it is Romanesque, isn't it? What was that then? Restaurant Chino. Some old restaurant. What a shame, because the building looks absolutely mint. With the best angle of it. Yeah, that's pretty specialist. See, we've got a lot of like nice fancy little gold sort of reliefs of, assuming some old Romanian characters. Pretty nice. Yeah. Tinful Roman. Pretty cool. Tell you what, the wind's picked up a bit. It was pissed rain this morning, now it's got all dead windy. Good job about the little mic muffler. Otherwise I might have been in a bit of trouble. Carly Buckley's going to love that when I tell her. Use the little muffler. Wait till she hears that, gets a little shout out. Let's see if we can go into the sort of heart of all the chaos. French Revolution o'clock. Let's head into all the chaos of the centre. Yeah, this is what I was on about before with the river. As you can see, it's completely empty for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. There's actually a guy fishing down there. Don't know what the hell he's fishing, like in a puddle. Yeah, I don't know where all the water's meant to be. I'm guessing they must like cut the floor or something. Because it's slightly mental. Right, let's go and get down the Palace of Parliament Boulevard and we kind of Mira Fanta. I think it's like melon flavour or something. Yeah, this is like the centre. There's meant to be like a big fountain in the middle of it all, but they're doing building work so you can't get on it. It's a bit disappointing. Yeah, head down the big boulevard towards the massive Parliament building. For the purposes of this video, we're going to call this street Megalomaniac Boulevard. It's literally all this. All these big fucking massive buildings. This whole boulevard all the way up to the Palace of the Parliament, which is massive by the way. It was all the idea of Nicolae Ceausescu. It's basically like an idea of how much of a megalomaniac he really was. But you do get all the like big classy massive sort of communist architecture, completely gridlocked traffic. You do get fountains though that do work, which is the first time I've ever seen that. Yeah, this is like, it's what happens when you let a dictator go mental. Apparently this whole area, when it was cleared out, sort of built up to what it is now, something like the size of Venice. They changed in 9 years, which is proper crazy. In fact, do you know what some of the buildings look like? In what's it called? Karl Marx Alley in Berlin. You have those big massive communist era buildings that line the boulevard. Sort of very similar to that. Similar kind of style and sort of grandeur. And they cut through as well, like the ones in Berlin do as well. Let's head up to the Parliament building. Yeah, you can't get the best like shots along here and stuff. Well, you sort of can eat it. Just the amount of trees and that are in the way. You can sort of see now that some of the traffic's cleared a bit. But there, look, working fountains. Usually everywhere you go, the fountains don't work, but here they do. There's the Parliament building over there. Pretty kitschy. Yeah, usually all the fountains never work in all places you go in the world. But Romania's kept theirs on, so kudos to them. I love as well how here you've got this like big square in front of the Parliament building, whatever it's called. That's basically just a car park. Get on this corner here, I'll show you. Oh, so there's the Palace of Parliament, big grand building, but then in front of it is like this square. But it is literally just a car park. Not quite sure why they do that. Yeah, the Palace of the Parliament building. This was like the pinnacle of Ceausescu's sort of height of power, of his achievements, what he wanted to do in the city. Inspired by the North Koreans when he went to Pyongyang. This is literally one of the most valuable buildings in the world. And also one of the heaviest. I think it weighs something like, Jesus, what was it again? 400 tons or something? Something absolutely mental. See if we can get across into the little car park and we'll get a better look at it. Yeah, in fact, it's not 400 tons or whatever it was I said, it's 4 million tons. It's like the heaviest building in the world. Worth like 1.2 billion US dollars. It's all like ornate and fancy and full of marble. It's quite spectacular to say the least. So a couple of other little facts on it. This place goes 300 feet deep underground. Pretty sure it's got like loads of like corridors and big massive like roads and stuff and all sorts of hidden chambers. It's basically like 4 million square feet. So it's literally like the absolute pinnacle of Bucharest and of Romania. Superb. Makes the Palace of Westminster look like shit basically. And Buckingham Palace look crap in comparison to this. Yeah, I think Ceausescu, when he built the building, well, he didn't build it. There's like 700 architects. But you know, I'm assuming he thought he was going to be Billy Big Bollocks forever. This would be like his little castle. Him and his little family for eternity. No, but it didn't turn out, did it? Let's try and get around and see like a side angle. Although it'll take like an hour to get there because it's fucking miles away. Yeah, it could be one of the best buildings in the world, that, I reckon. Definitely up there. Yeah, in fact, there's a view from the side, where it's just as outrageous as the front bit. No, I haven't done yet. Giving you an apartment tour. Get up to it. Numero 13. I'm lucky for some. Not entirely sure why. You got to turn the lock 3 times to open it. Yeah, this is mi casa for the next couple of days. So we've got a little bed, got a storage area, kitchen, got a seat and a telly, and then you've got a little bathroom. Slightly rough around the edges in there, but it's not that bad. Yeah, pretty decent. Can't remember how much it was, like 140 quid or something. Yeah, nice little space. Welcome to another day in Bucharest. Last full day here. I was out there last night till like 3 AM. It was a mistake, to say the least. A proper mistake. Felt absolutely ropey all morning. So quite frankly, I can't even bother to even film this, what I'm saying. Yeah, it's gonna have a mooch about, I think. See what's going on. I think I've seen all the sites I wanted to see while I'm here. There's a couple of other things, but they're like a bit further out in different sort of towns and cities. I don't have time to go and see them. I'll get there. So yeah, one last mooch around Bucharest and then back to good old Brittany tomorrow. Quite nice this little area as well. It's like some old memorial. There's some people getting married. I guess it's quite popular for that sort of thing. I'll have a wander up, see what it's all about. I think it's some like Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. Although it is hot today, and there's like a million steps to get up to it, so could be a disaster, but we'll find out. Yeah, lots of steps to get up. Probably 100 or so. Quite a nice little place though, isn't it? Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. Quite a spectacle. There's actually one thing I forgot to mention from this morning. Actually, I had a shower and it was like that was getting darker. It was a bit weird. Turned out there was some like slightly dirty water. Now I heard like water here can be a bit hit and miss sometimes. That's why no one drinks it out the tap. Yeah, I'm just looking at my skin going, why do I suddenly look a bit brown? Like sort of washed out fake tan. Turns out it's bloody slightly brown water. Bloody towel's absolutely filthy. It's not particularly good. decent view up here as well. At the top of the hill, tomb of the unknown soldier. Got the big obelisk. They actually do have a flame lit as well, and the soldiers guarding it. But you do get a decent view up here. You can even see Palace of the Parliament, the big building over there. That's quite a nice view. Some like artillery pieces over there. And you have the tomb of the unknown soldier. Basically as close as you can get. Yeah, quite nice actually. Let's go and head around and see what else is going on. Yeah, it's pretty mad. Like, they got an area this big just for the unknown soldier tomb. I mean, this whole bit, like, all the way up there and all down there, bigger than Darlington town centre. Like, literally. They've got it just for one tomb and a path. Yeah, I wonder if that bar I went in last night, what it was called, Last Minute or something, somewhere in the centre. And if they have the Sunderland game on later, or it isn't on the telly, I might be able to get it, we'll see. Well, when I was in there last night, honestly, the most stereotypical, like, English guy walks in, big guy, bald, straight up to the bar woman, 2 pints of your local beer please. The most English order you've ever heard. It turned out half the people were from our neck of the woods as well. Apparently around these parts there is something called graffiti wall or something. I don't know whether it's this. This is like a big thing with like a lot of writing on it. Although it might actually be around the corner or something like that, I imagine. I'm pretty sure it will be. Yeah, this whole wall's just like some big. I'm guessing it's around there. And check it out. I have to say though as well, around these parts, every single time traffic light changes colour, the amount of horns, everyone has to set off at 1,000,000 miles an hour, everyone's in the wrong lane, everyone's crashing into each other. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I thought it was going to be like a big thing this, but it turns out it's just like, well, this wall and a bit down there. That's literally all there is to it. It's not as amazing as I thought it was going to be. There's some decent stuff on there. A little heart. Some like Pokemon or something. Geezer. In fact, there's one over there, Darth Vader. So look at that. There's a nice cat. Oh yeah, Darth Vader. Use the Force, not the phone, Gen Z. Quite a cool one. Yeah, I genuinely thought that was like a bigger thing that. And there was like some big organised, not event, but you know, like just a big sort of cultural thing. Turns out it's just a wall. People put some pretty decent ones on actually. Seen places were worse, but actually some good ones there. Nice Darth Vader one. So props to whoever did that one there. Time to leave Bucharest. Oh man, I think I might have caught a cold or something. Last night was a bit ropey. Watched the Sunderland game in a bar. Nice 2-1 win for the lads over Chelsea. And then got something to eat, went back to the hotel and that. Just felt absolutely awful, so not a lot went on last night. Unlike the night before. We head up to Gare du Nord, train to the airport, fly back to little old England land. I want to see that there's actually a really nice old building as well that's right outside Gare du Nord. I missed on the day I got here. I went the actual opposite direction, but yeah, so I'll get a few snaps of that. That's basically it from Bucharest. If I had more time and, you know, go to other cities and stuff, which should be really cool, but, you know, annual leave is limited, so I can always quit my job and try and travel around. Could be preferable actually. Yeah, quiet little Sunday here. It's only like half an hour or so. Beats taking the bloody metro, mind. Even though it is quicker and only like 80 pence. Have a nice little stroll, try and clear the old cold out. Yeah, there's something you see quite a bit here. You get like all these old fancier looking houses, sort of like old mansions or something, next to like grotty old sort of communist era buildings. But there's lots of these like the fancier ones that are all just like a bit derelict. And you got a nice church. That one's alright, and then some is just like covered in graffiti and falling down. There's some further in the centre that are even worse. Yeah, like these here. Sort of like nice looking buildings, but they're all run down. This is just like a theme all over the city. Once upon a time, probably like really nice. Looks like people live in that one as well. There's quite a few of them you see where they've got like advertising sort of boards over them, where clearly no one lives in them anymore. Bit of a shame, like. Yeah, we'll do a couple of like final thoughts on that old Bucharest. If you come in here, Old Town is very lively, very nice, very lively, especially on a night. You know, all the people who like stand outside restaurants saying, come in, or special offer, and all that sort of stuff. Obviously they're always from where you say you're from, because why wouldn't they be? But yeah, it's full of that sort of stuff. And yeah, they're like, I think I mentioned it yesterday, the whole sort of like driving in this city. That was, what was it, Piazza Romana or something yesterday? Sort of like one of the central squares. And it's just absolute, utter chaos. Like the lights go green or red, nobody's in the right lane. There's just people sit there with like the hand pressed on the horn constantly. I'm surprised I haven't actually seen any crashes. Even in Serbia it was like that. You just sort of wonder how do people like get away with not crashing into each other. I actually saw a load of this yesterday. There's all these like bags of leaves, like street cleaners out sweeping them all up. Just even for the bin men to come. Don't even take it with them. But yeah, if you do come to Bucharest, you'll enjoy it. It is really nice. Even the street sweepers now. Sweeping the leaves, then leaving it for the bin men to come. Yeah, but if you come to Bucharest, you'll enjoy it. It's a good place. Don't drink from the tap because it's not always clean. You also sometimes get warnings in buildings saying don't flush toilet paper because the like system's old and stuff. But it seems to only be in like certain places. Otherwise you have to put it in like a bin, which is a bit weird, but I suppose that's what you have to do here. Yeah, there's some good sights. Everything's pretty cheap, to be fair. Food, drink, metro, buses, all of it. It's all pretty cheap. I think one Romanian leu is like 17 pence. So yeah, it's a bit like, I remember Poland used to be like it years ago, where it was like 4 zlotys were 80 pence and it was dead cheap. Apparently there's some guy I was talking to who'd been to Poland recently and said it was more like £2 now. So not as cheap as it once was. But yeah, if you come here, you'll enjoy it. In fact, you'll enjoy Belgrade as well. Ooh, hello Debbie. The dogs of Romania. There's usually cats everywhere. Famous Garadonard train station you'll have seen many times in other videos. It's hours. 11:10. 40 minutes. Little 40-minute wait.